What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here, welcoming you to part 1 of a brand new Total Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires campaign. By popular demand, coming in second in our community poll, the malevolent Briarmaven of Woe, Drycha. I absolutely love this faction's aesthetic, so I'm very excited to give it a proper go. But before we get to Drycha's unique brand of justice, namely watering the forests with blood, a couple quick things. If you enjoy this content and you want to see it updated regularly, don't forget to drop your likes and comments for the algorithm down below, as scheduling is tied to engagement. As always, a huge shout out to all you guys for your comments and your support. YouTube is my after-work hobby, and your comments keep it fun and keep this channel alive. Lastly, we're going to take a quick look at this faction and the campaign difficulty setup, but do feel free to skip to gameplay via timestamps below if so desired. So, faction effects, we got diplomatic relations reduction with the Wood Elves, which makes sense because Drycha doesn't like them very much, and of course all elf units are glamored, so they're expendable, but they're also a lot weaker than they would otherwise be. We also have the upkeep increase to the elf units, but conversely the upkeep reduction to Dryad, Treekin, and Treemen, so the forest spirits, and these are the malevolent version of the forest spirits that are unique to Drycha. All Vanguard deployable and frenzied and quite nice. We also start with 1 amber, which is the unique currency of the Wood Elves. As for the Lord herself, she gets control -5 to local enemy province, which is basically nothing, it's completely irrelevant, but we do get melee attack +5 and weapon strength +10% for Dryads. A little bit odd that this doesn't translate to Treekin and Treemen as well, but I suppose not a big deal at the end of the day, and Drycha is a Dryad after all. Lastly, we get the Rouse to Wrath ability, which is simply the ability to summon a unit of malevolent Dryads on the field. Now, that's about it for the faction and Lord effects. Let's turn quickly to the settings, and this is what we're going with. Specifically, I've turned the endgame difficulty up to 150 because I don't know. Now, 100 is definitely too weak. I haven't tried 150 yet, though I'm hoping to get to it soon with one of the campaigns. And then if that's still too weak, well, next campaign I guess we'll go to 200. Put the turn timer range to 125 to 135, mostly because 100 felt a little bit early, but at the end of the day didn't really make much of a difference. I just want more time to play around with more armies and more variety. Lastly, we're going very hard battle and campaign difficulty, and the endgame scenario I've chosen, rather than going random, is going to be Vermintide. Why? It's the only one other than Wild Hunt that we haven't experienced, and I didn't feel like going Wild Hunt mostly because it's Wood Elf antagonists, and, well, we're the Wood Elf antagonists, and we're going to be very destructive with this particular campaign. So it all feels right. So that's the difficulty, that's the Lord, that's the setup. Here we go. Let's get to it. Alrighty, well, Drycha's the Forest's Wrath, and look at this, we have a Skaven army as our first battle, which is kind of ironic considering that we picked Vermintide for our endgame crisis. Should be a good time. I guess everything will come full circle by the end. Now let's take a quick look at how they play, because I'm not super familiar with Drycha myself. So, recruit glamored Wood Elf units while benefiting from stronger Tree Spirit. Lords, heroes, and units that can be assigned aspects to grant them combat bonuses. Yes, this is something I'm aware of, so we'll have to pick the aspects for everybody, and our Wood Elf units suck, as we know from the start. Instantly recruit wild spirits and fauna, so we're able to get bats and doggos and hawks and wolves and bears and other such things via a sort of raised dead-like recruitment. In fact, it's essentially identical panel. So these guys should be pretty useful, and as I understand it, they can get pretty damn strong with Drycha's buffs in particular. And pacify regions bordering the world's magical forests through raising occupation, alliance to improve their health, eventually leading to rituals of rebirth with lasting rewards. So we gotta heal the trees. We gotta heal the trees by getting the stuff that's around them, and getting the reward for whatever we get. How do you check the reward? I'm not entirely sure. I know that there is a reward. Ah, there it is. So, by healing this one, 100 health to begin the ritual rebirth. Once initiated, enemies will attack the region. Ooh, defend it until the ritual is complete for additional rewards. And the first one here is the Overgrown Temple of Erethkial. Enables awakened forest attrition. Enemy armies in region. Immune to vampiric corruption for all armies. Oh, that is quite useful, especially if we want to ally with the vamps. And here recruit rank +3 for branch wraiths. Always useful, I suppose, because we'll be having many a branch wraith in our armies. Anyway, back to this. Traverse the deep roots sparingly to instantly travel vast distances between magical forest, or use the world root stance, so jumping around for our own army, but also the ability to jump between the trees. And are we also able to jump down to Cathay as well? Yeah, we are. Yeah, with the bigger map, this should be pretty darn fun. I really like the concept here. Alrighty, and use amber rewarded from rituals of rebirth to unlock powerful technologies. Okay, so we start with 1 amber, and every ritual of rebirth presumably gives us 1. So the Oak of Ages only counts as 1, eh? So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know if I missed one. 8, did I count the Forest of Gloom? I don't know. 9, 10, 10-ish. How many of these do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, okay, so we can unlock everything if we get every single one, unless I miscounted and we're short one. But either way, we can unlock most things. Great. Alrighty, so that's our technologies, and that's how Drycha plays. Looks like we also started with a Waywatcher rather than a Malevolent Branch Wraith. That's kind of interesting. I would have thought that Waystalker rather, not a Waywatcher. I would have thought that we would have started with a Branch Wraith. Now, let's get a few of these units aspected immediately. We're going to jump into the fight, then we'll start with buildings and technologies after that, mostly because I want to take a look at the lovely units and see them in action as fast as possible. Hire mercenaries. Oh, we're right beside an ogre camp. Might be beneficial to declare war on them. You guys, let's see. So we have Aspect of the Birch, reduction in physical resistance but an increase in armor piercing. Armor +20 but a reduction in speed. And what's your standard armor? It's actually 60, which is not too bad. And then we have Aspect of the Willow, which is increase in melee defense, a reduction of armor piercing weapon damage, but a bonus to infantry, which is going to be the majority of the units we fight. I'm tempted to say go 3 Aspect of the Oak. Well, I mean, we can always switch these later. Let's go 3 Aspect of the Oak for now. These will be our main line, and then right behind them, these guys. We will get them the Aspect of the Birch. I'm tempted to go Aspect of the Willow, because 6 and 6 is pretty damn good. Then again, what's the likelihood that we run into early game armored units? Pretty low, I would think. You know what, yeah, let's go Aspect of the Willow on you guys. And as for the trees, oh wow, 500 for 1 aspect? And what about you? 300. You know what? Let's save a little bit of cash there. Who knows how much money we'll need to upgrade stuff. And ooh, we have an Overgrown Temple of Erethkial. Oh, that's the thing for the Awakening thing. Yes. Okay. Fair enough. Now, we'll obviously need money here, and a lot of it, and really quickly. So let's get to that, the thing that will give us growth, and I guess we'll need to grow further. Then you will probably want to start summoning stuff. So let's get another Malevolent Dryad, let's get another Giant Wolf. Probably want to level up that Malevolent Dryad as well. Do we need the bats right now? I feel like we don't, certainly not for this, although they could tie up the Poison Wind Globadiers. I'm sure that our Giant Wolves can do the same. Anyway, let's save the rest of the money and not aspect everything. Let's start off with a battle, and then we'll figure out what exactly to do after this. And we're going to play this one cinematically, just because I like to always do the first battles cinematically just for fun. And yeah, they have no chance. Let's get to it. Alright, here we go. Debut battle, and damn it if I didn't miss these units. They have got to be I don't know, pretty up there with the coolest looking color scheme units, and generally the units in the game. I just love them so much. And we have a fair few of them compared to the enemy army. I don't see them standing too much of a chance here. Anyway, Drycha is going to move in first, although we've got a pretty simple battle order of battle here, with just moving a pile of units in and destroying all these clan rats. We don't really need to worry about it. And damn, Drycha's actually pretty tall, isn't she? Considering clan rats should be almost, or actually in this game I think they are roughly man-sized, so yeah, Drycha's pretty big, but she is a legendary lord. We also obviously use the summoning of the additional dryads right in the middle of the enemy. Here's that malevolent tree man just wading through, and the enemy's routing before they even get to him. There's the treekin attacking as well. And the enemy has no chance of even harming the treekin because they're just so tanky, and damn it, the enemy is also routing pretty much everywhere already. But of course, once again, it is the first battle. It's literally designed so that you can't lose it. And getting a little bit of a duel between Drycha and the enemy lord here. A lovely attack from Drycha with all those malevolent roots, I suppose. And there we go, just surrounding the enemy lord so he can't get away, getting those extra little little bit of hits in, and I do believe the battle is ours. Alrighty, easy enough. Now, I'm never sure with these battles, or these starting battles, whether you actually have to destroy the enemy army or not, as in, will it be destroyed if we don't chase it? As if it was in March Dance, or will it not? But I guess we will see. We're gonna give chase a little bit, or as much as we can here, and if they survive, they survive. Oh, and look, there's our little Waystalker, contributing very, very slightly. Frankly, I'm probably going to remove him from this army and send him out to be an assassin, or whatever other agent action these guys can do, simply because there's probably not going to be enough room in this army for it, and it probably won't serve too much of a purpose, and we're probably going to want a bunch of branch rates here, not any other hero. Anyway, decisive victory obviously, but it's just the first one. Plenty more cinematic battles to go, and obviously that one was way too short to enjoy properly the glorious malevolent tree spirits. So let's try to get some more. Alrighty, quick and easy little fight, but at least we've sated the bloodlust of the Briarmaven for a turn or so, and now we can proceed to some of the admin stuff before moving on. I guess we are going to, what do we have here? Army replenished by 1, wins a magic power reserve +5, eh? Oh, that's interesting. 233 money isn't really all that much. Let's take the power reserve. Then again, yeah, let's take the power reserve. Screw it, why not? Well, we may need it for something that we're about to attack. Looks like Essen is supposed to be the next target, and we are in range of it as well. Forest Spirit, won a battle, straight up enemy leadership -5 and spell resistance 5. Oh, wow. That's fairly decent. Okay, well, I'll take it. Now, back to the admin stuff briefly. We can't build anything here, although, yes we can. We can build a guard platform, and we probably do need to, as we can't have Drycha just sitting here always, protecting the place. We would be able to build military buildings if we wanted, and it's the branch wraith building that we probably want as early as possible. Yeah. Alright, well, after all the money buildings, because we need to build them all. In fact, because of the glamour thing, we may... Oh, we already have this building, so it'll only cost 2k. We may actually want to delete the Glade Guard buildings. I mean, would there be any purpose to bringing them rather than our Forest Spirits? I'm not sure that there is. So there may not be any benefit to us. You know what, let's demolish this, get the money back. We'll replace this with a money building, and then this with another money building. Yes, alright, good. And this provides no extra bonuses here as well. Now, we have 2 forest health here from battles and raising. Let's pick the technology. So, first of all, we have Wisdom of the Pine, upkeep minus 15 for all Dryad, Treekin, and Treemen units. So this is one of those super necessary ones. And the construction time reduction is quite helpful as well. But the upkeep at minus 15 is probably fairly negligible right now in the very, very early game. Yeah, our army upkeep is only 2,000 here, so until we get a second army, this isn't crazy important, even though it does sound nice. Though I do like the construction time reduction. Diplomatic relations with all factions might be very useful early on, but is it better than at the expense of potentially other stuff? Not sure about that. Same with missile resistance for Dryads and, well, all the Malevolent Tree Spirits. We got Wisdom of the Yew, reload time reduction plus 15% all armies, and a poison infusion. Oh, interesting. So basically we get a poison augment for our tree spirits if we want it. Okay, interesting. Stalk for giant wolves and giant spiders, and death blow for death blow for dryads, you say? That's nice. A decent upgrade for them. Not, well, actually, it's also a decent upgrade for the tree men because they're going to survive quite a while. Also, we'll need to pick something after. Oh, there's only one option. Okay. Gain plus 5 additional forest health for raising heathlands. Fire resistance 25% for Dryad, Treekin, and Treeman units. Vigor loss reduction minus 25% for melee infantry. Okay, not bad. Bound spell, Flock of Doom for ancient Treeman. Uses for... Oh, wait, so this is a uses for bound without cost? Because if it's without cost, it's pretty damn decent. And the straight up wins a magic reduction. Then we got income from settlement buildings, useful but not until later. Growth plus 25, very useful in the early game, but not only with only one territory, I think. And then lastly, Wisdom of the Wildwood, physical resistance for all... Cave bats, feral manticores, giant spiders, great hawks, giant wolves, and feral bears. I think that's every single unit in the wild spirits, yeah. Okay, so that's pretty nice. 20% physical resistance on them all, and a little mini Mortis Engine ability, Murder of Spite's area of effect, damage around malevolent treemen. That's quite powerful as well. So this seems very nice, and this seems very nice. It's got to be between Wisdom of the Pine and Wisdom of the Wildwood. As to which one, although, gain plus 5 additional forest health for raising heathlands. So presumably we build this and we raise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heathlands. 6 would give us a plus of 30. I don't know what the base amount we get is for raising a territory. I'm going to assume it's 5. So by raising all this, we'd get a 60 towards the forest health, and I assume that raised heathlands also provide us health, right? Mordheim, I take it, is full of rats. Oh, so we could go there and destroy them as well as Essen. I assume that that little faction is not alive. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I'm liking how different this campaign feels right off the bat to a regular campaign. I do like the idea of potentially getting this thing healed up really, really quickly. And that would essentially give us a massive amount of relationship with the Vampire Council, which, as some of you guys suggested in the Vlad campaign, to ally with the Vamps as well, just because we allied with Drycha there and she was such a good ally. And I'm certainly willing to give that a try. I feel like we want to be fairly destructive with Drycha, though, like go around and destroy a lot of stuff, rather than, for example, allying with the Empire. A relationship with Vamps, eh? Well, nonetheless, I feel like it's gotta be... Do we need this to win early game fights? Probably not. That's the thing. Upkeep reduction and construction cost. What's our construction time rate right now? So 5 for the guards, but the money building is only 1 turn, so it's not going to make much of a difference. You know, as weird as this might seem, I feel like maybe we go for the Wisdom of the Cypress. Raising heathlands, just to raise everything around us and heal up the Griffinwood really quickly. Well, let's try it. I don't know if this is the right move or not, but let's figure it out. We will get Wisdom of the Wildwood, and then Wisdom... Well, we'll get Wisdom of the Pine next, and then Wisdom of the Wildwood right after. Oh, we shall see. And close victory, you say? Okay, so that sounds like it'll be actually worth fighting. We can recruit some bats if we want, but what are we facing here? A couple Skaven Slave Slingers, not really much of a force to be perfectly honest. I don't see them standing up to us. And what's that, Essen? Essen seems like a slightly better garrison, probably because it has a wall building. Alrighty, you know what? I think we'll fight this one regular style, and then we'll fight the Essen battle cinematically. So let's do this one real quick. Drycha didn't actually level up, so we just go into it immediately. And then we'll move on to Essen cinematically, and hopefully we'll get a little bit of cash out of this. Oh, and we'll obviously have to raise this place, and we'll see how much forest health that gives us. +5 is a little bit vague. I wish I knew what the base was. Because if it's something like +10, then +5 would feel a little bit less worth it, but if it's +5 from 5 and it doubles it, that's considerably better. Anyway, let us move in, let's say like so. We'll send the Malevolent Shriekin at this unit of Clan Rat Spears, and we'll back him up with the 2 units of Malevolent Dryads as a group 2. You can lead here. Hopefully the slingers hit you, Drycha, and then you guys can follow as part of group 1. Group up, group up. Waystalker, you can just stay there and annoy people. And just shooting them. Giant Wolves, I want you to move around, let's say group 4, and hit the enemy, and then lastly we'll send the Malevolent Treeman by himself with a support unit. Like so. Alright, looks good to me. And good. And attack, attack, attack. And you guys go around and kill the slingers. Alright, perfect. I'm gonna give this a watch. Shouldn't need too much control of this battle. Kind of a pseudo-cinematic, I suppose. I swear I sent Drycha in. Yeah, there she is. Where are you going, Drycha? Oh, you're trying to hit another unit? Okay, fair enough. Oh, I love that animation. Damn. Isn't it nice? I love the purple roots there. Quite malevolent. Alrighty, now you guys need to actually move deeper into the enemy formations. How are those wolves doing? Attack that, please. I get a little bit of minor control at the very least. And it looks like these dryads have won. Our malevolent tree is doing good work here. Keep taking out those clan rats. Drycha, you want to maybe Melkot's Mystifying Miasma this unit, and Enfeebling Foe the enemy lord unit. It's taking a while to die. Alright, back to it. And Dryads, ooh, Charge of the Wolves, there we are. And it looks like these guys are going to react to this by running in, so we are going to attack the Skaven Slaves here, and you keep attacking them. We could also probably summon the unit. Where do we need to do so, though? Oh, look, our Waywatcher's getting attacked by a summoned unit as well. Alright, looks like most of the enemy are actually routing already. Ah, Drycha, you are needed here. Wolves keep chasing, really everybody keep chasing, minus the Malevolent Tree. You go after the Clan Rats, so you can back off, and the battle should be just about ours. Yeah, like I said, this one really didn't feel like it needed to be cinematic. We'll do Essen's battle cinematically, because I feel like their units will be a little bit tougher than the Clan Rats. Another menace below. These Clan Rats actually did pretty okay at killing this unit. Yeah, I should have just summoned this a little bit earlier, but it's okay. Not gonna make much of a difference at the end of the day, and the Clan Rats disappear anyway. Okay, you go after this, you go after this, you go after this. And I'm almost kind of tempted to speed this up now, because it's just waiting for some of the Skaven units to come back. No. Wolves don't fight the Clan Rats directly. You guys all charge of Clan Rats. Wolves go around. And let's Melkot's Mystifying Miasma EU to slow you down. And wolves go get them. In fact, you guys stay away, because you're already kind of hurt. And... Alright, who's still alive? And who's still willing to fight? This is this one Clan Rat unit. Send them a Malevolent Tree there. You'd probably terrify them away. And there we go, battle's over. Alright, now let's raise the place and see how much that health that gives our tree. And let's also see if we can't get a quick alliance going with Vlad. Not that I super care about relying on them as an ally, but, you know, there's some fun units in the Undead tree, although without the Invocation of Nehek, they will be naturally weaker. But still, I like the idea of continuity with the Vlad campaign. Especially since the battles with borrowed Drycha's forces were pretty damn epic. And we get a free wand of jet out of it. Alright, nice. And we will, let's see, clear Heathland gives us +5 to local magical forest, +1 per turn. Occupy gives us +1 per turn, but no +5. Wait, so did this give us +5 before, or did it not, I wonder? So just out of curiosity, is this thing now +10 or +5? This gives us... Okay, so I take it that gave us +5, and then with the tech, that gives us another 5? Okay, yeah, so that doubles the amount. Okay, that seems like it's pretty good. That seems like it'll speed this up pretty darn considerably. And once again, I don't feel like we necessarily need to rely on buffs to our units in order to win these early game battles. So I think we can go without that other tech. Drycha appears to have leveled up twice, so what do we have here in her unique tree? Lots of buffs for basically all the beasts. Okay, yeah, you know what? We're gonna put both points in that. We do want to have a reaching tendrils, but we'll get it immediately afterwards. And we'll take a look at Drycha's main tree as soon as we hit level 12. Ooh, we get more uses of Rouse to Wrath. That's nice. And I assume, ooh, 20% ward save for Treekin. They are going to be insanely tanky. And an extra armor piercing for the regular Dryads and the Treekin as well. Frenzy for all the beasts as well, yes. Oh man, it's gonna be hard to choose whether we should have a massive amount of beasts or a massive amount of malevolent tree spirits. At least in Drycha's army. But anyway. We should also try to get Drycha the Sword of Cain at some point, just because I feel like she'd appreciate it more than most anybody. You. Eye of Kurnos is useless to your army. We could get a sword player. I guess you get the Arrow of Kurnos just to get the little magical artillery effect. In case we need it, and I believe that's it. None of this gives us money, so we don't care about it. Let's end the turn, and let's head to Essen and raise it next. Cinematically this time, of course. And then Nagenhof, so if these two both give us a +10 to the Griffin Wood, it'll be at +30, so yeah, I'm thinking that by the time we raise everything around the Griffin Wood, it'll be nearly healed already. So we should be able to get Vampiric reduction quite quickly. Now, it'll be a while before we get another Amber, but not a big deal, I think. I feel like most people would probably... would have probably started off with Wisdom of the Wildwood or Wisdom of the Pine. These two seem like by far the best, but I just want to see if this works out. Granted, I don't know too much about Drycha, so I could be wrong about this choice, but hey. That might make the campaign more fun. Let's get the bats. Screw it. The enemy has crossbows, and we may as well make some use of them. And are you able to get your next thing? No, the growth is quite slow here, unfortunately. Do we have any more spirits? Alas, we do not. I was thinking that if we changed regions we would, but oh well. And you're gonna head down to Essen Town. Valiant defeat, you say? Aha. So it is indeed going to be a little bit more difficult. Alrighty, now in that light, do we want to perhaps give you an... Do we want to spend money on this? You know what, no, I don't want to spend money. I was about to say, give them an aspect, and maybe one of these units an aspect, and I'm sure it'll be useful, but I, once again, don't think it's needed for these early game battles. Also, we need a Malevolent Branch Wraith or two as fast as possible. Also, this dropped from 9 to 7, eh? So we need to burn all of these as fast as possible. Yeah, the negative ones. Okay, yeah, we gotta get to these quicker. Yeah, so then the +5 would be really helpful, especially if we're losing points in health from the hostile Heathlands. Interesting. Alrighty, let's take to this. Cinematically, you have your Wand of Jet, and there's no other items to get, so let's get to it. Alrighty, here we go again, and this time I do imagine we'll actually have to at least slightly work for our victory. We're going to open up the battle with some arrows of Kurnos heading into the enemy unit of crossbowmen, actually killing 5 of them, and by the looks of it. The crossbowmen are actually targeting our malevolent treeman, who's taken a surprisingly decent amount of damage from those few volleys, despite the physical and missile resistance that it already has. Fortunately, the enemy crossbows are not going to be able to summon or use many more hits, or use get any more hits in there, as we've summoned, that's why I said summon, our own unit of Dryads right in the middle of them, preventing them from running while our Treekin and the rest of our army move in. In terms of setup, just to talk about this real quick, we have most of our army deployed here, but 4 units of Dryads, including the Hurt unit of Dryads from last battle, as well as that unit of Giant Wolves, are right here, hidden in the woods so that the enemy didn't deploy to react to them, and they're going to move through this way while Drycha, the Treekin, and the Treemen, together with a few units of Dryads, move in through the main battle here, or the main enemy force. Here we go, here come the Treekin, and while the enemy do have some spears, and I think I saw a Halberdier unit in there as well, I don't imagine they'll have too easy of a time dealing with the Treekin, or the Treeman. The Treeman, yes, definitely could have been focused down by those crossbows, but we're about to kill 2 of them fairly easily. As we can see, I believe that's an enfeebling foe going down on one of the enemy units. Probably not a Melkoth's. I think I used the Melkoth's later on somebody else, but I imagine that was an enfeebling foe just to reduce their stats a little bit. We do want to kill these units quicker so that we can move deeper into the city. Alright, it's also kind of hard to spot Drycha sometimes. She's in there somewhere. There she is. Alrighty. All the blood around the... What is that? Why is the blood doing that? I don't even know if that was a bug, but I'm sure the Malevolent Treeman really enjoyed it. Oh, yeah. These guys look like they have a lot more fun than the regular non-Malevolent Treemen. Drinking all that blood with a smile on its face. Maybe it is doing that on purpose. Alright, take another swing at those halberdiers. They came here for you, and perhaps they might be able to damage you, but I guess we'll have to see. Anyway, the main battle here is joined, but in the meantime, our other units have arrived. Our Malevolent Dryads are going to hit the Spearman unit, 2 of them together, in fact, while the other 2 Malevolent Dryads are going to hit for the isolated unit of halberdiers here, which is the enemy's Lord unit. So we're going to try to essentially block them or engage them with the Malevolent Dryads, while the doggos, the wolves, giant wolves, move around them and try to hit them in the back to dish out the damage. Otherwise, the battle does appear to be going in our favor. The enemy troop count has dropped by about 250 troops, whereas ours has dropped by about 50. Not really much to speak of there. And we're not having too much trouble with this so far. Oh, it looks like the enemy is going to try to react to our second unit of Dryads, so we are going to have to countercharge them here to prevent them from hitting us in the flanks and damaging us further that way. Treekin are moving forward and making space, allowing for the Dryads to dish out some damage, although I do imagine that while a few of the units are escaping, a few of them will also probably come back. So we do have to watch out for that. It's also ironic that we're fighting Ostermark here, and Ostermark has a similar color scheme to us. Early game. Oh, I love that rolling animation. Well done to the Treekin and the Treeman, and I do believe most of this main force is in very bad shape already. The Dryads have also made their way and have pretty much broken this unit of spears, and the next one is the swordsmen, who are also going to die fairly shortly. In addition to that, we've also dropped down some of our bats on top of another unit of crossbows just to prevent them from firing, and while there is another unit of crossbows that's routing, I'm sure the bats can go after them later on. The dire wolves are... Okay, so the Vlad campaign is going to be making me call the Giant Wolves Dire Wolves throughout the campaign. You guys need to be prepared for it, because I don't think I'm going to be able to handle it. It's going to get confusing. Anyway, the Giant Wolves, Dire Wolves, Giant Wolves, whatever, the Wolves are doing decent amounts of damage to the enemy Halberdiers, who are wasting their armor-piercing damage on these units. Well, not so much on the Dryads, but certainly on the Dire Wolves. Giant wolves, I already did it. And this enemy lord unit should be out of the picture very, very quickly here, and is in fact shaken. Damage sustained, the balance of power is shifting further in our direction. Looks like everybody here, other than the halberdiers, is already routing, and the battle should be ours very shortly. Gotta watch a few more of those animations from that tree man. Especially while the enemy's under enfeebling foe and will take more damage. Yeah, stomp them all. Beautiful. And once again, I've lost sight of where Drycha is in here. Oh, she's right in the shadow of the tree there. Alrighty, and I do believe the battle should be just about ours. I see some units wavering, and I think the rest of the army is following suit, and just like that, it is ours. I think that as soon as the Lord unit routed over here, caught between these two units of Dryads and the dire Giant Wolves. I warned you guys. Caught between the Giant Wolves and all these Dryads. As soon as that unit routed, the army losses combined with the morale shock from the Lord running probably deleted the army. Close victory, as we did take a little bit of damage, certainly more so than the other battles, but it's certainly also nothing to be concerned with. Alrighty, well, certainly a little bit tougher than the first battle, but nothing crazy. Clearing the Heathland rather gives us 1,600 money, so it's almost as much as sacking anyway, so let's get to this as well. Beautiful, and we got another Forest Spirit, so I take it that... Ooh, miscast chance reduction. And a Hunting Hound for Drycha. Now I'm curious, can these things be given to you? Yes, indeed they can. So we can double up on enemy leadership reduction on local region, eh? So if we put like 4 branch wraiths in Drycha's army, that'll be minus 20. Pretty significant. Alright. And can't get any more forest spirits here, unfortunately. Can we get to Nagenhof in one round? It looks like we're just... we're a little bit too far away. Unless we go for ever-reaching tendrils to give us that little bit of extra movement range. And hopefully we can then reach Nagenhof as well. We're now at 19 on that health. It'll drop down again by 3 to 16 next turn. I hope that the ogres don't take these. I assume that if they take these, they no longer count as pacified. But then again... if they do take it, we just kill them again and then pacify it again and get another bonus? That seems like it would be very nice. Alrighty, well, let's upgrade... Wow, 5,000? No, let's not upgrade. A little bit much. Let's get the Malevolent branch wraiths first. And I know I went on this rant in the Vlad campaign for those who watched it, but I feel like it's pointless to say Malevolent branch wraiths because branch wraiths are malevolent by their very nature. But anyway... we gotta get a Lore of Life user. But we also gotta get a life. Lore of Life user in this army ASAP. Yeah, because Drycha only has the Lore of Shadows. Would have been neat if she was a dual lore, but I feel like, yeah, it does make absolute sense that she can't use the Lore of Life. Knowing how she feels about things and stuff. Now, you can buff up your range damage a little bit. I suppose we could use you to try to assassinate the large single target units, but because of your debuff, because of the glamour debuff, your reload skin being minus 10 is pretty significant. I guess we could counter it by getting Fleet Finger. Melee attack minus 5. Yeah, fine, just start going through Fleet Finger. Eye of Kurnos doesn't really help us at all. At least not in Drycha's army. Alrighty, well with that we end the turn, unless there's somebody to diplomatize with. Looks like several of the non-vampiric people like us. Drakenhof's, or Templehof's rather, kind of liking us, but we're probably going to declare war on Templehof just for the purpose of cozying up to Vlad. We also don't need to move through the deep woods. Deep roots, rather. But I assume that we want to take the Forest of Gloom first, mostly because it's really close. So we need to clear out this area, essentially, build up an army, then head down there, while hopefully this place will be strong enough to defend itself. Huh. Kind of interesting that they didn't go for Forest Spirit defenses, you know? Like, it's a little bit odd. I guess you get them out of the garrison, but I feel like Drycha should have had unique garrisons throughout and had lots of malevolent stuff rather than the regular type. Especially considering they're all glamored. Why would Drycha be housing that many elves in the first place? Not a big deal. Let's end the turn. Let's proceed to Nagenhof next. Hopefully with that extra 5% we can reach it. And honestly, I'm kind of hoping that the ogres do take this territory, because then we can just raise it once more. And by the looks of it, I think they did. That doesn't look like a ruin anymore. Now I'm curious, you're going to be at 19, you're going to drop down by 1. Okay, not so bad. And hello, what is this? Forest Encounter. The forest hungers. Your eyes and ears at the edge of the forest have alerted you to the presence of militiamen who are mustering in a nearby camp. You have dealt with the men of the old world before, given your previous blood-soaked forays into their lands. They are right to fear your kind. It would be wise to attack first before they reach full strength. Show them once again that the spirits of the forest are not to be trifled with. Alrighty. Well, range +8. Don't care about the reinforcement range right now. Now, we could hit Nagenhof, but it won't destroy the faction anyway. Maybe we're better off declaring war on these ogres, raising this territory, heading to Griffinwood for a heal, and then going after this. I don't know what... let's see. An enemy force's gathering strength here and will appear in 3 turns. Move a force here to attempt to ambush the foe. Even if you are defeated, they may be prevented from reaching full strength. I have absolutely no concept of how strong their full strength might be, but I am excited to find out. On the other hand, let's see, this is 3 turns, so we could waste 1 turn here to raise this, and then another turn to go here. And another turn to go here. We could reach it by 3 turns by doing this, but I feel like the ogres are the better option. Also, it'll be a little bit of extra variety. Also, tree hammers, how dare you? How dare you? Although it might be nice to get some lead belchers in our army, it doesn't have to be from this particular faction. Now, do we have... we got more bats. Our army is still hurt because we haven't healed up. I guess that's one of the issues with raising these territories. But at least our force health is going nicely. Recruitment cost reduction and force health +4 per turn in Athaloran. Oh, so I take it... Wait, we can heal the Oak of Ages directly, right? Does it have a reward? Oak of Ages, Flourishing. Unlocks the construction of... okay, so it's just the tier 5 of this. Control 5, faction-wide. Growth +6, 160, all provinces, nice. Ward save 10 for forest battles, yeah, okay. Ooh, what we should actually do is take a look at all the rewards of everywhere to see exactly where we want to go next. I still feel like the Forest of Gloom first, just because it's very close to us, but to be perfectly honest, the actual rewards here are kind of meh. Hero action, success chance, and war dancers and blade singers, don't really care about that. What do we have here? Income generated 600 straight up. Okay, that's not bad. 40 Diplo relations with Ogre Kingdoms, immune to vampiric attrition all armies. Wait a second. What do you mean immune to vampiric attrition all armies? This is also immune to vampiric attrition all armies. But it doesn't give us nearly as much... Why would both of them do that? The other one just seems straight up better. Well, that's just rude, but I still like the idea of getting the Ogre bonuses. Upkeep -30 for all forest spirits. Okay, that's gotta be... We gotta get there early, and it's immunity to chaos corruption as well. Okay, yeah, this one's great, especially in combination with what Drycha can do already. What does the guy in Vale do? Physical resistance 5% for all armies, again with that corruption resistance, otherwise kind of meh. What do we have in the Witchwood? Immunity to snow, immunity to mountain, attrition, Lord recruit rank for Lord of the Beast casters, missile strength +10, doesn't seem like that big of a deal either. What about the Sacred Pools? Probably could have done this at some other time, but too late. Immunity to plague and swamp attrition, and did we already check Orion's camp? Desert, barren wasteland, and weapon strength for all armies. Not horrible, considering we have our malevolent treekin to consider, but nonetheless. Alrighty, Drycha. If you change territories to here, will you be able to get more units? No, we can hire some ogres, but we're not gonna do that. Let's do this. First of all, let's level you up, and then let's fight some ogres. Might as well raise them, and there will be a decent amount here. Plus the, are you a tyrant? No, you're a slaughtermaster, which is actually good. It will be easier to kill the slaughtermaster than it would be to kill a tyrant. So let's declare war on these guys immediately. How dare they move into the Heathlands immediately after we do. Alrighty, well, I guess we'll do at least one more cinematic battle. I don't think I've ever had a first episode with as many battles in such quick succession, at least battles where I've bothered to actually fight them. So this is pretty fun stuff, plus our army is getting lower in terms of the unit count and its viability before we need to heal, so that makes it a little bit more difficult and it's a little bit more fun. Let's get to it. Alrighty, here we go, against the ogres, and I gotta say, I am absolutely loving the variety we're getting right off the bat in this campaign. It's definitely my cup of tea. I hate facing the same enemies over and over, and here we fought Skaven, we fought Empire, and now we're fighting ogres, all in the first episode and the first couple of turns, which I really appreciate, so good on Drycha for having a fun starting position. She doesn't discriminate, she kills everything living, and that's why we're going to ally with the dead. Ah, that worked out. Alrighty, well, we've deployed the army this time, as the enemy does have a decent amount of ogre bulls that we do need to be careful with, as they will deal splash damage to our dryads. We're going to take advantage of the woods to try to force them into battle there, where they will suffer the debuffs to large units, and thus we've deployed our entire army pretty much in the woods, with the exception of our Waystalker, who is just trying to annoy some ogre bulls, and in fact has managed to not kill any. Well, no, actually managed to kill one, but at least dished out a little bit of damage to them. Anyway, here we go. The Treekin are going to countercharge, or have already countercharged the ogres, and hey, the Treekin are quite a bit larger than the ogres. Ooh, and the glow of the malevolent tree spirits in the darkened woods, that's actually really nice. I made a similar remark to the dark battles in the Vlad campaign, where you can see the balefire glow of in the zombies' eyes and stuff like that. And this is kind of similar. I really like that. Can't see anything but the glow of the eyes of the malevolent tree spirits. Very much appreciated. And normally I don't like the darker maps because you can't quite see what's going on, but with these effects, when you have an entire army that glows, it's particularly nice. If the enemy army were to glow as well, it would be even better. And there we go. Well, it looks like the Treekin and the Treemen are doing a good job, although it's kind of hard to tell what the heck is going on in there. Well, let's just take a quick look at who's overwhelming who. Now, we have summoned our unit of Malevolent Dryads, and I gotta double check what that ability is called, because I forget every time. Roused to Wrath. I feel like I could have guessed that. We've got a decent amount of enemy ogre bulls, pretty badly damaged at about half HP. 1, 2, 3, 4 units are there, and it looks like they're about to rout. Unfortunately for us, over on this side, the Waystalker has gotten caught by the enemy Saber Tusks, so we have countercharged them with both of our units of Cave Bats, as well as our single unit of Giant Wolves, and thus the Saber Tusks, in Rampage and Wavering, are in very bad shape and should be out of here soon, which should hopefully allow our Waystalker to escape. Now, the Slaughtermaster, I'm sure, will give chase, but ogres have a difficulty killing units like the Waystalker, or anything smaller than them, really, because they just knock them around rather than killing them. So I'm not as worried about the ogres, ironically, as I was about the Saber Tusks killing them. Anyway. Giant Wolves and Cave Bats will give chase to the Saber Tusks, while our Waystalker tries to run away, but let's get back to the rest of the battle here. Looks like we've made slight headway and are starting to head out of the trees, though that's not necessarily what we want. I do think that we've done enough damage to the enemy army that they're, while viable, heavily damaged enough so as they're not really as much of a concern anymore. Or at least nearly as much as they were before. Oh, yeah. That animation on the tree, man. The one where you pick, where it picks up a small infantry unit in one of its feet and then crushes it and stomps down as well. Glorious. And I love the intense glow on the eyes as well. Alrighty, well, the enemy's still holding, and yeah, look at that glow. It's certainly going to be a little bit of a different battle, and I know it's dark, and you guys, I'm sure, can't see what's going on either, but it still looks cool, you gotta admit. Well, there we go. I heard somebody is running scared. I do imagine the rest of the army will be following suit shortly. Looks like more enemy units are routing, or wavering at the very least, if not routing. Most of them are, in fact, routing here. And the balance of power is shifted to about 75% in our favor. The enemy lord still has to be killed, as well as his little retinue that we're chasing after the Waystalker, who has managed to escape and is now moving into the woods. We've also headed out of the woods, ironically, and are now going to meet them in battle on this plain here. Granted, a few of those units, in fact a decent number of those units that ran away, are going to come back and rejoin the battle, but we are giving chase with the cave bats and the dired giant wolves, as well as the other unit of cave bats and a single unit of malevolent dryads, just to make sure that at least some of the units don't come back. Not that it's looking like it's going to matter much, because the ogre bulls, for all their ability to probably do decent amount of damage to dryads, are not really capable of easily killing either the malevolent treemen or the malevolent treekin, or Drycha probably herself either, so we shouldn't be all that concerned. Looks like these guys are going to book it out of there as well. I'm going to hit them with a Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma so that maybe some Dryads can catch them and prevent them from coming back. In the meantime, the enemy lord is in fact shattered due to army losses, and just like that, this dark little battle is over. And honestly, I feel like that felt lorefully appropriate, the way that we came out of the woods and fought in the dark, both for Wood Elves in general and Forest Spirits in general, but for Drycha in particular. Doesn't look damn cool, damn it. Alrighty, another decisive victory for us and another location to raise. There we go, not too bad at all. Once again, not a crazy amount of unit losses. 1/6 of our army is certainly worthwhile, especially if we're going to heal next turn. And once again, we're going to raise this so we get another +5. Yes, clear heathland. No extra money this time, and ooh, Paul's Anvil Smith. Oh, that's nice. It's real nice. Alrighty, well, too bad you didn't move immediately into our own territory, but not a big deal. And we got time here. And is that a Bellicor thing? Yeah, that is a Bellicor thing. Alrighty, and attrition +5 and under siege for enemy armies. I don't expect we'll be spending a lot of time actually sieging enemies, but I like the concept. Ooh, Skewering Branch, sweet. Straight up upgrade for Dryads. And we probably do want an early Penumbral Pendulum, but honestly, we just want a Branch Rake to be able to cast a Life Bloom, if nothing else. So, yeah, that's going to be critical, and we'll have a Branch Rake in one turn, presuming we don't actually get one from an event. I feel like usually you get a hero early from an event, but I guess this time, for this faction, we don't. Oh well. You got yourself another level. Fleet Finger for you, buddy. And it seems like we can end the turn. And then heal up a little bit. Ooh, any forest spirits? Wild spirits, rather. No. No forest spirits or wild spirits. Because the malevolent dryads would be forest spirits. Yes. End the turn, head to Griffinwood, get that Branch Wraith, and then with the Branch Wraith together, we will head to this place. I guess it's not something we can raise, but we could always go to Beckhofen after, or find another one of these places to go to. Most likely we'll just be at war with pretty much everybody near us. But once again, that does feel very appropriate for Drycha. And there we go, there's the Tribal Stones, which means we have access to Lore of Life. Murder of Spites, passive ability, and Cluster of Radiance, passive ability. I don't know what those do, unless Murder of Spites means enables poison attacks and weapon strength. What was this thing called? Murder of Spites for Malevolent Treeman units. Oh, so this is the Mortis Engine effect. You're telling me we could get the Mortis Engine effect on one of you right now? Yes, yes, please. You. I wonder what Cluster of Radiance does then. I guess we could in theory get both. We probably do want a bunch of these Branch Wraiths here. You know what, let's get you. And move Drycha into the Griffin Wood, presuming that she can't get another Forest Spirit, which she cannot. 30 health. It's okay, it's certainly getting there. And we got more stuff here, so that's another Malevolent Dryad. You know what, let's get these guys next turn. And I'm tempted to just straight up go for 2 branch rates. We'll probably have 4 in her army eventually. And yes, it would be nice to have Beast Lore. Spell resistance minus 25 for enemy enemies in the local region. Ooh. That seems nice too, damn it. Ability, Muster of Malevolence, additional 15... Okay, I don't really care about them wounding up the target. Spell resistance minus 25%. You know, that could be pretty darn useful. And I guess we do want to get at least one of these beast casters. I want to see what this exactly does. You know what, let's get you rather than the Cluster of Radiance. I'm sure we'll get a Cluster of Radiance eventually. Your turn. And out of curiosity, this does what? An area of effect that gives 5 melee attack and a bunch of bonuses to everybody nearby. You know what, I like it. I like it very much. We'll take that. And then you two will join Drycha next turn as we head out to whatever the heck this is. And I guess we can burn down the camp and destroy this faction while we're here as well. Alrighty, we're quickly running out of time, but I feel like while we're here, we might as well do this battle as well. So, let's get to that. You could be upgraded right now, let's do it. And I guess there's no way to reduce your cost, and oh, we don't have commandments, do we? Also, damn that slow growth. Really got to get to those grapevines. That extra 600 money will surely come in handy. And oh, we can build Malevolent Treekin. Does this take 1 turn or 2? Just the 1? I'll definitely get 2 more of these. Yes, please. Very, very nice. That'll be very helpful. It won't max out our army, but between getting a couple more units like... Well, we should probably get as many wolves as we can. They seem pretty damn useful. They're like... Huh, they're tier 3? Yeah, no wonder. So they're basically like somewhere between dire doggos and fleshhounds of corn. Obviously they're not as big and they're not as small numbered as the fleshhounds, but they appear to be stronger than dire doggos, at least it seems like it. Although that might be because they don't have the... well, A, they have Drycha's buffs, but also they don't have the crumble thing. I wonder how they'd compare to Norscan Warhounds, or the Ice Hounds, or the Poison Hounds of Chaos. Anyway, let's end the turn, let's proceed to whatever this is. I'm quite excited about it. With our new Treekin. And once again, we'll save up a little bit of money at some point, I'm sure, and then we'll get them their aspects unlocked, but it's not like we need them right now. And with regards to the Treekin specifically, I'm probably not going to pick the tanky aspects, but rather pick the damaging aspects, because they're already so damn tanky. Alright, invasion imminent. Well, good that we're kind of prepared for it. This is coming in next turn. Well, once again, good that we're prepared for it. Let's get a doggo. Do we want 2 spiders? We have nothing that applies poison in our army. Eh, why not? I don't. Oh, we can't afford the second spider. Okay, we'll come back and get the second spider afterwards. I mostly wanted for the poison application. You go here, Drycha. Let's have the branch wraiths join you. Like so. Honestly, we're probably going to get a little bit of all of the forest spirits, or the wild spirits rather, because I just want to try them out in combat just to see how effective they are, if nothing else, and then after the comparison has been made, we'll go with the ones that we like the most. Anyway, one more battle to round off this episode at the imminent forest invasion. Let's attack, and let's see what we're looking at here. Alright, you're attacking the Empire. Oh, this is a lot weaker, and it's an ambush. This is much weaker than I was expecting, to be perfectly honest. I guess we could have waited for them to be full HP. But nonetheless, we'll fight this cinematically as well. Let's make sure to silence those mortars with our giant wolves as fast as possible, but otherwise, I don't imagine they have much of a chance. Let's get to it. Alright, I swear I just heard Drycha say something, and usually you don't get a speech when you ambush, but maybe this counts as a special sort of case, because it's an ambush, but it's not really an ambush, but it is, you know, because it's that woodland encounter, or whatever we're calling it. Anyway, here we go. More variety, as we're also getting an ambush battle in this first episode, in addition to all the other battles, and the enemy is completely surrounded. Now that we have 3 units of Treekin, the additional unit of spiders, and the second unit of wolves, the enemy is going to get absolutely crushed between both of our units. On the bright side, unlike the ogre battle previously, we can actually see what the heck is going on here. Drycha has used her Rouse to Wrath ability to summon more dryads to the back of the enemy units. Probably could have summoned them in the middle as well, but honestly, in this particular battle, it's really not going to matter all that much. Drycha herself is going after the enemy lord, who's already below half HP and wavering, and frankly, most of his army is either wavering or routing already in the first, like, 30 seconds of contact. Truly an ambush, and it certainly is working out for us. There we go. Away they run. The mortars have gotten absolutely destroyed by the spiders and the bats. The giant wolves are chasing off any regular infantry units, and the same can be said for the rest of our army. Just like that, I do believe the battle is pretty much ours. In fact, I think the only unit that's left alive is the unit of flagellants, and they're unbreakable, right? So we do have to kill them, so all good. I guess the one unfortunate thing about this ending so quick is we didn't get to watch the branch rates do too much, but I'm sure we'll get plenty of action with the branch rates in the next episode and all the episodes to come. Also Slaneshi giggle. Anyway, Drycha's gonna give chase to the enemy lord. I'm not entirely sure whether we actually have to. Generally speaking, armies that escape ambushes survive. Gonna hit them with a Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma, and we're actually gonna get the kill with the Melkoth there. And there we go, Drycha and both branch rates are now in here to work on these guys. And we can watch them work on this a little bit, since we didn't get to watch them through the battle, because it wasn't all that long. Ooh, nice. Taking off one of the infantry's heads with a swipe of one of the branch rate's claws. Very nice. Also compare the damage done later on between the branch rates. Just out of curiosity, read the little Mortis Engine effect that one of them has. Wherever this is. Yeah, it's you, right? Yeah, Blessing... No, not Blessing of the Ancients. Murder of Spites. 4 to 8 damage per second is not that much, but if you use it in a massive blob, it can certainly be useful. Anyway, once again, our spiders, our bats, our dryads are all given chase to enemy units, as I do believe they will survive, depending on whether this counts as a real army, or whether it will disappear like a quest army, and I guess we're about to find out right now. Well, there we are, once again a fairly easy fight. Ooh, and we won't have to heal up if we get the replenishment rather than the money, so replenishment it shall be. Now, out of curiosity, are you going to survive? Yes, you are. Very slightly, but yes, you are. Okay, so that's a little bit annoying, but honestly, this army is so weak it probably doesn't really matter. And everybody's getting a little bit of extra leadership and stuff with the forest spirits, and there we go. Alrighty, well, with that, I think we are going to call this episode here. Yeah, we could probably go on to the camp and do other stuff, but honestly, I'm having a good time, and this episode's already gone over long, because I'm enjoying it, and we could go on forever. So, we'll call it here. Next time, I wonder if this guy's going to declare war on us. I wonder if he's going to take these territories for himself. And if he is, well, that's just another opportunity to raise them. Anyway, next time we'll attack the Krugenheim camp, then we'll start making our way through Ostermark's territories and burninating those as well. And then if these guys take any new territories, we will destroy them as well, regardless of how much they like us. Mostly because I feel like we probably will want to ally with the vampires rather than anybody else. That said, Hawkland does want to ally with us, and the opportunity potentially is still there, but personally, I am inclined towards the vampires, but if you guys have any other opinions and suggestions with regards to who we ally with and who we don't, please do let me know. I'm not married to any idea, and I'd prefer to do whatever you guys feel like would be more fun. Anyway, stay tuned for more Deadly Trees. Don't forget to leave a like and comment for your friendly neighborhood heretic. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.